point I wanted to tell you is, his wife has very nice, beautiful, she may be looking after him well, that is the reason he is going every day. No. Without his intentions, he is going Bandra side. Why this is happening? What is the reason for this? So, until then we take break. After the break, serial also will, in the serious mood they will stop, is it not? Next episode, next day. So next episode after lunch we will discuss about the answer. Lunch, after lunch, logical statements we take up. That is more important. Statements and some of the questions on reasoning we will do in the afternoon. Okay. Will you come back after lunch? Doubtful. After tea break, 1 or 2 missed it seems. So now the time is 1. Exactly 1, exactly 2 come back. Okay. Logical statements. Usually this model we call it as syllogism. Syllogism. Can anybody say what is logic? Logic. Daily we use a lot of logic in deciding the things. Suppose you go to an ice cream parlor and order for a fruit salad. After seeing the fruit salad, suppose if you find 3/4 of the cup is filled with banana, what conclusion you will give? Bananas are available more. And if you go to the market, you can bring them at a cheaper price. Because here the condition is like this, the condition there would be like that. Nowhere you find apple. Apples are costly, so don't go to buy apples. Because the situation here is like this, the situation there we can estimate. So logic means searching for the reason. Logic and reasoning almost deriving the reason logically. For example, even in logical statements also, we derive conclusions for the given statements. Suppose if I say one statement, all girls are thieves. All girls are thieves. One statement I have taken. Another statement, all thieves are cunning. All girls are thieves and all thieves are cunning. Therefore, what is the conclusion that you can derive from these two? All girls are cunning. So, whenever you are deriving the conclusions, the conclusion we have to, the term which is common in both the statements, we usually call this as middle term. This will not come in the conclusion. Therefore, the conclusion that follows is all girls are cunning. So, one conclusion is all girls are cunning. So, first whenever you are deriving the conclusions, first conclusion is direct conclusion derived from the statements. Number 2, converse of the direct conclusion is also a conclusion. Converse of the direct conclusion means all girls are cunning means all cunning are girls? No. All girls are cunning means some cunning are girls. Converse of this is some cunning are girls. See here, I have taken a set of girls. All the girls I have included in the set of cunning. When I am saying all the girls are cunning, I cannot say all the cunning are girls, because cunning is the superset. In this, all girls may be there, all teachers may be there, all dogs may be there, all boys may be there. So when we talk, all girls are cunning, all teachers are cunning, all dogs are cunning, all boys are cunning, means some cunning are girls, some cunning are teachers, some cunning, is it not? So converse sum, we have to start with sum. First conclusion is the direct conclusion derived from the statements. Second is the converse of the direct conclusion. Third one is converse of the given statements is also a conclusion. All girls are thieves means some thieves are girls. All girls are thieves means some thieves are girls. All thieves are cunning means some cunning are thieves. So, for these two statements, we have derived four conclusions. First one is direct conclusion, second one is converse of the direct conclusion, third and fourth are the converse of the direct statements given. Understand? Even if you want to check up also, you can check up with Venn diagram. How we draw the Venn diagram? All girls are thieves. All the thieves are cunning. All girls are thieves, all thieves are cunning means all girls are cunning, is it not? Transitive property. When you talk back, all girls are thieves means some thieves are girls. All girls are cunning means some cunning are girls. All thieves are cunning means some cunning are thieves. All these are the conclusions we got. Understand? So this is the way to write conclusions. And for deriving conclusion, we have mainly two methods. Number one, according to the rules which were given in the textbooks. If you take rules alone, 90% of the answers may tally. Or go with the Venn diagram, comfortable. But sometimes in case of confusion, if you know the rules, you can go with the correct conclusion. So what my suggestion is, along with the rule, draw the Venn diagram also. That is better. Before I start the statements, actually let us see what are the parts involved in that. All boys are intelligent. A statement may be either true or false, but not both. So all boys are intelligent may be true or it may be false. It may be either a true statement or a false statement. All boys are true means boys we call it as the subject about whom we are talking about. About whom we are talking, we call it as subject. Statements, subject is called as minor term. Subject is called as minor term. All boys are what I said? Intelligent. Intelligent. So the quality of the subject, we call it as predicate or the object. Predicate is called as the major term. Minor term and major term. Suppose if I take one more statement, all boys are intelligent, all intelligent are mad. Suppose if I take one more statement, the term which is common in both. What is the term which is common in both? Intelligent. So this is called as middle term. So a statement consists of a minor term, a major term, and also a middle term. Subject is called as the minor term, predicate is called as the major term, the term which is common in both the statements is called as the middle term. And usually in the examination, whatever may be the type of examination, whether it is bank, clerical or POs or campus recruitment, GRE, whatever exam it may be, we mainly have four types of statements. First one is called as universal affirmative statements. Universal affirmative. Universal means implied to all. Affirmative means positive. Affirmative means positive. Universal means implied to all. These type of statements will be in the form of all boys are girls. All boys are girls means all S is P, is it not? All the subject is predicate. All the subject is predicate. In this type of statements, subject is distributed. Actually, we cannot recognize correctly whether it is distributed or not. Better you remember. Distributed in the sense, taken in the sense of all. What I am taking? All the boys are girls. I have not left even a single boy. I have taken all the boys. Whatever property I am attaining, that all the boys are girls, that is implied to all the boys. Not even a single boy was left. Distributed means implied to all. So yes, subject is distributed here. And what is the converse of this statement? All boys or girls means some girls are boys. Some girls are boys. Suppose if I draw the Venn diagram, all boys are girls. All the boys I have taken in the set of girls. When I am talking back, when I am taking girls, some girls will be boys, not all the girls. Original girls will be like that only. Some girls will be, those who converted will be boys. This is the converse. Second one, universal affirmative, universal negative. Universal means implied to all, but in the sense of negative. Negative means adding not before a statement. Is it not? Negation. No girl is regular. No girl is regular. I am attaining a property to the girl. What? Regularity. But in the negative sense I am telling no girl is coming regularly. So no girl is coming regularly means those who are coming regularly are not girls. Understood? So no girl is S means this is of the form no S is P. No subject is predicate. No subject is predicate. Converse, how we write this? No girl is regular means some regular are not girls. Some regular are not girls. Suppose if I take girls as one set and regular as one set, girl and regular will not match. They will not. They cannot be clubbed together because no girl is regular. Understand? Both are disjoint sets. Next, in no SSP, both the subject and predicate both are distributed. We are coming in one sequence. That sequence, remember, no SSP. Both the subject and predicate is distributed. Particular affirmative, particular group, particular positive, referring to a certain group, Some boys are trees. You tell me, some boys are trees will imply that some boys are not trees? It will not imply. You should not take in the statements like that. If I say some Indians are Indians, will it imply that some Indians are not Indians? Is it not? So, some boys are trees means some trees are boys. Only that much you can say. Understand? This is of the form some S is P. Some subject is predicate. I have already told some subject, not distributed. Both the subject and predicate is not distributed. Both the subject and also the predicate is not distributed. What is the converse of this? Some boys are trees means some trees are boys. Some boys are trees means some trees are boys. See here, some boys are trees, some trees are boys. And about this group and this group, you need not say anything. We don't know. And the last one is particular negative statements. Particular negative. Some boys are not good. Some boys are not good. This is some S is not P. P is distributed. See, in one order only it is coming. All S is P, subject is distributed. No S is P, subject and predicate is distributed. Some S is P, both are not distributed. Some S is not P, P is distributed. Can you tell me what is the converse of this statement? Some boys are not good. Converse? There is no converse. No converse for particular negative statements. There is no converse for particular negative statements. These are the four type of statements we have. In the examination, combination of any two or any three may be given. Combination. When they are given combination, you have to derive according to certain rules. Understand? So, one way we are lucky that we don't have fill in the blanks. Statements he will give, conclusions also he will give. What we have to decide is we have to decide whether the conclusion will follow or not. So better, if you take rules, it may be a matter of 15 minutes. Along with the rules we take, and Venn diagram also we draw for each and every statement, every rule. We discuss for 15 minutes, then solving will become easier. And getting into bigger MNCs, this is more important. And one more point I would like to tell you is, take the rule, whatever rules I am telling, for deriving direct conclusions. Indirect conclusions, I mean converses and all, you derive from the diagram. Okay, that is better. First rule you write down, rules to follow for deriving the conclusions. Rules to follow for deriving the conclusions. The first rule. The conclusion should not contain the middle term. Here, the conclusion should not contain the middle term in the sense direct conclusion should not contain. Understood? Direct conclusion. If you take converse, the middle term naturally it will be. It's a part of the statement, is it not? Example you take, all men are girls. All men are girls. Some girls are students. Converse, conclusion 1, all girls are men. Conclusion number 2, some students are girls. All men are girls, some girls are students. According to the rule, the conclusion should not contain the middle term, in the sense, middle term is what? Girls. In the conclusion, the word girls should not be there, if at all it is a direct conclusion. But in the converse, so whether they are direct conclusions or not, we don't know, because we have not gone through all the rules. About the one rule only we are discussing. Let us draw the diagram and examine. All men are girls. All the men are girls. And some girls are students. All men are girls means, can I take all girls are men? No, it will not follow. Some girls are students means some students are girls will follow, is it not? So conclusion 2 follows here. Even though you don't know all the rules, just by drawing the Venn diagram, you can judge whether these conclusions will follow or not. But for direct conclusions, you have to see that this, and again, after completing all the rules, we will come to know that one is universal, the other one is particular. In direct conclusion, you should have particular. Like that, if you want to know, you have to go through all the rules. Okay. Rule number 2. No term can be distributed. No term can be distributed in the conclusion unless it is distributed in the premises. Premisses. Premise means statement. Premise means statement. What is the rule? No term can be distributed in the conclusion. In the conclusion, terms should not be distributed unless they are distributed in the statements. Unless they are distributed in the statements. For example, some dogs are goats. All goats are cows. Conclusion 1. All cows are goats. Conclusion number 2. Some dogs are cows. According to the rule, when you are taking the direct conclusion rule, if you refer, no term can be distributed in the conclusion unless they are distributed in the statements. Some dogs are goats means dogs is not distributed, goats is not distributed. Some SSP. All goats are cows means goats is distributed, cows is not distributed. So, only goats are distributed. In the conclusion also only goats must be distributed. Okay. And other terms should not be distributed in the conclusion. Here all cows are goats means cows is distributed. But here cows are not distributed. No. This conclusion will not follow. Some dogs are cows means this is not distributed, this is not distributed. Here also dogs and cows are not distributed. Whether it follows or here also not distributed, here also not distributed. Whether it follows or not, you check up with the diagram. Follows or not? Some dogs are goats. Taken dogs, in the dogs, some dogs are goats. All goats are cows. Some dogs are cows. Some dogs are cows will follow, is it not? So conclusion 2 follows. If you verify both rule and the diagram, deriving the conclusion will become simpler. Rule number 3. The middle term should be distributed. The middle term should be distributed at least once in the premises, otherwise the conclusion cannot follow. The middle term should be distributed at least once in the statements, otherwise the conclusion cannot follow. Conclusion cannot follow means the direct conclusion cannot follow. For example, all fans are watches. Are black. Conclusion 1. All watches are fans. Conclusion number 2. Some fans are black. What is it? The middle term should be distributed at least once. What is the middle term here? Watches. All S is P, watch is not distributed. Some S is P, watches are not distributed. So, the middle term is not distributed even at least once, then the conclusion cannot follow means the direct conclusion cannot follow. Then what about the conclusions he has given? Some watches are black. All watches are fans, cannot follow. Some fans are black, will it follow? Cannot follow, because all fans are watches. The some watches what we are taking, in that these fans may include or may not include. When we say may include or may not include and we are not sure, then we are not supposed to say about that conclusion. Understand? So, both the conclusions will not follow. Both the conclusions will not follow. Next. If both the premises are particular if both the premises are particular or if both the premises are negative or if the major premise is particular, premise is negative, no conclusion follows. Here I have combined three rules and given in one statement. I repeat once again. If both the premises are particular, some books are pens. Some books are pens. Some pens are erasers. Conclusion 1. All books are erasers. Conclusion number 2. Some erasers are books. Next. No flower is a mango. No mango is a cherry. Conclusion 1. No flower is a cherry. Conclusion number 2. Some cherries are mangoes. Some dogs are bulls. No tigers are dogs. Conclusion 1. No dogs are tigers. Conclusion number 2. Some bulls are tigers. What I have told in the rule, I have combined all the three because for all the three, no conclusion follows. If both the statements are particular, if these two are particular, no need to see about the direct conclusion. Whether the other follows or not, you see, some books are pens, some pens are erasers. Some books are pens means some pens are books, is it not? Some pens are erasers means some erasers are pens. Some books are pens, some pens are erasers. Can you say some books are erasers? You cannot say. So, from here to here it will not follow. Similarly, from here to here also it will not follow, is it not? So, this will not follow. If both are particular statement, how come a universal conclusion will come out? Some boys are passed and some girls are passed. All the boys and girls are passed, we cannot say, is it not? And this is also cannot follow. No conclusion follows. Whether direct conclusion or the conclusion given by him, no conclusion here. Second one, even if both the statements are negative also, no direct conclusion. No flower is a mango. He is telling us a relation. He is telling a relation that flower and mango has no relation. He is telling us the relation between flower and mango, that there is no relation. No mango is a cherry. This and this we know the relation. This and this we know the relation, that they don't have any relation. But this and this we don't know any relation, is it? We don't know. Whether cherry and flower have relation or not, we don't know. When we don't know about the relation, we are not supposed to say about the conclusion. Okay? No flower is a cherry. No flower is a cherry. We can't say. When we can't say, this conclusion cannot follow. Some cherries are mangoes. Some cherries are mangoes also will not follow, is it not? So here also both the conclusions will not follow. The third set. If the major premise is particular, I said. What do you understand by major premise? What is the middle term here? Dogs. In whichever statements the middle term is taken as subject. In whichever statement the middle term is taken as subject, that is called as major premise. So, some dogs are bulls means this is a major premise, this is a negative. No conclusion follows. One is a major premise, the other one is negative, no direct conclusion. Whether these two follow or not. Some dogs are bulls. No tigers or dogs means tigers we write separately because tigers and dogs do not have any relation. Tigers and bulls, whether we don't know they have a relation or not. First conclusion, no dogs or tigers follows or not? Follows or not? No tigers or dogs means no dogs or tigers? No boy is intelligent means no intelligent is boy? No boy is girl. None of the boy is converted as girl. Will it imply that no girl is boy? Girls are not converted into boys? Maybe. We don't know. So, anyhow we don't know, this conclusion will not follow. Some bulls are tigers. Here also it will not follow. So, both will not follow. While deriving, take the conclusions carefully. After this, I will give you a worksheet of 20 questions given in our different examinations. You derive them, you only will come to know what type of questions you will get. Okay. Next. If the middle term is distributed twice, the conclusion cannot be universal. If the middle term is distributed, all fans are chairs. No tables are fans. Conclusion 1. No tables are chairs. Conclusion number 2. Some tables are chairs. Before we go into this, let me tell you a small point. Suppose I take two statements. All boys are tables. All tables are chairs. Conclusion 1. All boys are chairs. Conclusion 2. No boy is regular. Conclusion 3. Some chairs are tables. Conclusion 4. Some boys are regular. See, when you see these two statements, conclusions, all boys are tables, all boys are tables, all tables are chairs. First conclusion, all boys are chairs, all boys are chairs, follows. No boy is regular, keep aside. Some chairs are tables, some chairs are tables, follows. Observe the second and fourth conclusions. Second and fourth conclusions, they are not related to these statements. Even though they are not related, they both are, if one follows, the other will not follow. I am saying no boy is regular. On the other hand, I am saying some boys are regular. If I take no boy is regular, some boys are regular will not follow. If I take some boys are regular, no boy is regular will not follow. But any one of them will follow, is it not? Definitely any one of them will follow. Whether you are a good man or a bad man, both cannot follow, anyone can follow. So in such cases your answer is conclusion 1, 3 and either 2 or 3. Even though they are not related to the statements. Even though they are not related to the statements, 1, 2, 1, 3, either 2 or 4, either 2. Either of these two, one should follow, because both are called as complementary pair. Complementary pair means if one follows, the other will not follow. Where we cannot decide definitely. Either this follows or that follows, we don't know. But any one of them follows means either of them will follow. Those are called complementary pair. Here also, what I told, the middle term should be distributed twice. Otherwise, the conclusion cannot be universal. That's what I said, is it not? The middle term should be distributed twice means, middle term fans distributed. Here also fans distributed. Both are distributed means the conclusion can be, conclusion will be, if the middle term is distributed, the conclusion cannot be universal. Cannot be universal means that will not follow. If this is not following, you no need to check up this, this will follow. Because no tables or chairs are not following means some tables or chairs will follow, is it not? No need for checking. If this is not following means this definitely will follow. No need checking for this. Conclusion 2 follows. If you cannot decide among both of them, either. But here you are deciding that this is not following. If this is not following means this definitely will follow. So conclusion 2 follows here. Complementary. If one of the premise is negative, if one of the premise is negative, if one of the premise is negative, the conclusion must be negative. If one of the premise is negative, the conclusion must be negative. All grasses or trees, no tree is a shrub. Conclusion 1, no grasses or shrubs. Conclusion number 2, some shrubs or grasses. If one of the premise is negative, the conclusion must be negative. This and this is negative means conclusion negative. Usually how we follow is, for direct conclusion, what is the middle term? Trees, trees. One of negative, no grasses or shrub. No grass or shrub follows. If this is following, automatically this will follow or not? This is different and this is different. No grasses or shrubs. Some shrubs are grasses means you can take. But no grasses or shrubs. Some grasses or shrubs means you can take. But here it is reverse given. Whether it follows or not. Draw the diagram. All grasses are trees. No tree is a shrub. Some shrubs are grasses, we don't know. No conclusion. Will not follow. Next. If one premise is particular, if one premise, one statement is particular, the conclusion must be particular. Some boys are thieves. All thieves are dacoits. Conclusion 1. Some boys are dacoits. Conclusion number 2. All dacoits are thieves. If one premise is particular, conclusion is particular means thieves should not come. So some boys are dacoits. Some boys are dacoits. And particular and universal means universal cannot come. Even if you draw the diagram also, it cannot be tallied. Some boys are thieves. All the thieves are dacoits. Means some boys are dacoits. All dacoits cannot come. Even you did not draw the diagram. Here itself we can decide. Last but one. You only can say the answer. If both the premises are affirmative, if both the premises are affirmative, means positive, the conclusion would be affirmative. If both the premises are affirmative, the conclusion would be affirmative. All women are mothers. All mothers are sisters. Conclusion 1. All women are sisters. Conclusion number 2. Some women are not sisters. Again complementary pair. Which one will follow? Either or first one or second one. First one will definitely follow. All the women are mothers. All the mothers are sisters. Therefore, all women are sisters. This follows. When this is following, this cannot follow. Complementary pair. Last one. If the major premise, if the major premise be affirmative, if the major premise be affirmative, the conclusion must be particular. If the major premise be affirmative, the conclusion must be particular. All are stories. Some poems are plays. Conclusion 1. Some poems are stories. Conclusion 2. All stories are poems. All stories are poems. Which one will follow? All plays are stories. Some poems are plays. Some poems are stories. Follows. All stories are poems. Cannot follow. Conclusion 1 will follow. Now I will give 20 questions given in the campus recruit process. Some from L&T, some from HCL computers. So see how many you can solve and tell the correct answers. Pass on that back. Are boards. Conclusion 1. All windows are boards. All buildings are boards. Some boards are doors. Your answer is all follows. All follows is correct. Statement 2. Some desks are chairs. Some chairs are pens. Some pens are drawers. Conclusion 1. Some drawers are desks. Some drawers are chairs. No drawer is chair. None follows. Correct? None follows. About the third question, all flowers are trees. Some trees are houses. All houses are wheels. Conclusions. Some wheels are trees, some trees are flowers, some wheels are flowers. First option. 1 and 2 follows. Coming to the fourth one, all furnitures are jungles. No jungle is road. Some roads are hills. Conclusion 1, some roads are furnitures, some jungles are furnitures, some hills are jungles. Second option, only 2 follows. Fifth one, some boxes are hammers, some hammers are heads, beads, all beads are rings. Conclusions, some rings are hammers, some hammers are boxes, some rings are boxes. 1 and 2 follows. 1 and 2 follows. Sixth one, all benches are desks. Some desks are roads. All roads are pillars. If you are referring 1 and 2, you refer. 2 and 3, you refer. 1 and 3, you refer. Otherwise, checking the answers only, conclusions already given. So draw the Venn diagram and then check up. So for sixth one, some pillars are benches, some pillars are desks, some roads are benches, no pillar is bench. Here, some pillars are desks, no pillar is bench, some pillars are benches, no, okay, no complementary pair. Some pillars are bench, no pillar is a bench. Complementary pair is there, no, 1 and 4. So either 1 and 4 should follow if both are not following. What is the answer for this? Third option. Only either 1 or 4 and 2 follows. Statement 7. All houses are pens. All windows are pens. All pens are boards. All houses or boards will follow. All windows or boards will follow. Some boards or houses will follow. All houses or boards, when you are saying, what is the necessity for saying some all houses or boards? You can say because some houses it should not be. Okay, what is the answer? All follows. Eighth, all pens are books. All books are chairs. Some chairs are desks. Some desks are tables. Conclusion 1. Some tables are chairs. Some desks are pens. Some chairs are pens. All pens are chairs. What is the answer? 4. Only 3 and 4 follows. Ninth question. Ninth question. First option, none follows. 10th question. Fifth option, all follows. 11, first, 1 and 2 follows. 12th, for simple interest and compound interest. Simple interest and compound interest. Already you know the topic. I am not going deeper into the topic, just 2-3 models you have. Just I wanted to clarify those 2-3 models. We all know that the formula for simple interest is equal to PTR by 100. PTR by 100, principal, P is the principal, always you must refer the principal in rupees. Whenever you are using the formula to calculate, principal must be calculated in rupees. T, time should be in years in the formula. 5 months means 5 by 12 years. 17 days means 17 by 365 years. You must convert them into years. R is rate percent per annum. Rate percent per annum. And according to the simple interest, we have a formula for amount also. Amount is equal to P into 1 plus TR by 100. The formula for amount as per the simple interest is P into 1 plus TR by 100. But better than this formula, amount you better take it as principal plus interest. That is better. Principal plus interest. And according to the compound interest, we don't have the formula for compound interest, direct formula. We take the amount. Amount is equal to P into 1 plus R by 100 whole to the power N. Suppose principal is 10,000 rupees, R is 10%, time is 2 years, compounded annually. Compounded annually means principal become 10,000, R is 10%, N is equal to 2. Suppose if I say compounded half yearly, compounded half yearly means N will become 4, R will become 5%. 5%. Principal will be 10,000 only. That you have to keep it in mind. And as far as problems point of view is concerned, we will not use the formula. So, try to solve without using the formula. Taking the base as 100. Suppose if the principal is 100, time is 2 years, rate of interest is 10%. What is the simple interest means? How our calculation would be, will be 100 is the principal at the rate of 10% means first year is 10 rupees, second year is 10 rupees, total 120 rupees. So simple interest will become 20 rupees. From year to year, the simple interest will not change. But as per the compound interest, 100 is the principal. First year 10% means it becomes how much? 110. So for a period of 1 year, there won't be any difference between the simple interest and compound interest. And second year again 10% means now this 10% will calculate on 110. 10% of 110 is 11, so 121. Suppose if you want to keep the amount for one more year with you, according to the simple interest, another 10 rupees you will pay, 30. But according to the compound interest, again 10% of 120 you will calculate. 10% of 121 is 12.1, 133.1 we calculate. This is the calculation procedure. But as far as campus recruitment test point of view is concerned, simple interest and compound interest, chances are very less. Asking the questions, direct questions are very less. Maybe one or two new models they may ask, right? And one more rule in simple interest and compound interest is, unless otherwise specifically asked, we will not calculate the compound interest. Calculate the interest means it is implied, thus we have to calculate simple interest. We have to calculate simple interest. Okay, write down one problem. Sum amounts to rupees 1340. A certain sum amounts to rupees 1344 in 2 years, 1416 in 3 years. Find the rate of interest per annum. See, he asked only to find the rate of interest. He has not mentioned whether it is a simple interest or compound interest. So our calculation will be according to the simple interest only. What is the difference, is it not? For 1 year period, what we pay extra according to the simple interest? We pay only the interest. So how much we have paid for 1 year? 72 rupees is the difference. So 1 year difference is 72 rupees means the interest is 72 rupees per year. Take any of the data you can calculate. Amount is equal to 1344. In how many years this amount became 1344? 2 years. 1 year interest is 72 rupees means 2 years interest is 144 rupees.